Hello, my name is Elena Gray, and I chose to do my presentation on Season 2 of Anne with an E. In this presentation, I will be discussing the show's relevance and contribution to the LGBT plus community. Anne with an E is a Netflix series loosely based on the author Ellen Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables. The show is often described as a coming-of-age story about an orphan girl who has grown up in the orphanage and countless homes of abusive strangers. Anne and her adopted family, Matthew and Marilla Cuthbert, live in Avonlea, a small farm town set in 19th century Canada. Because of her status as an orphan, she often faces prejudice and discrimination at school. However, despite all her hardship, she does encounter some individuals who are more accepting of her character and background. In Season 2, she develops a close friendship with Cole Mackenzie, a boy in her class who is quiet and reserved and who aspires to be an artist. Cole is different from his classmates and is often harassed by the school teacher, Mr. Phillips, for what he calls his feminine proclivities. And these behaviors can be seen throughout this series when he interacts with other girls in his class. After much character development, Cole feels comfortable coming out to Anne as gay later in the season. Mr. Phillips is the school teacher in Avonlea. He is very strict and punishes students he considers to be unruly by humiliating them in class, and in some instances he has used corporal punishment. He is more harsh on Cole and Anne in particular because of their social status and their general behavior. He is in a not-so-secret relationship with Prissy Andrews, one of the older students in his class. However, it is heavily implied that he is repressing his sexuality and attraction towards other men. In episode 5 of Season 2, Cole asks if he could fix the ribbons in Anne's hair. When Mr. Phillips finds Cole talking with the girls and braiding her hair, he is scolded and punished for his feminine behavior. Later, Anne approaches him and apologizes for being the reason he was insulted by Mr. Phillips. Cole notes that Phillips has never liked him and has always mistreated him just because he is different. In response, Anne tells him, "There is nothing wrong with different. I'm unusual too, and that's why we're kindred. You are unique." Shortly after becoming friends with Anne, Cole meets Diana Barry, Anne's best friend and kindred spirit, and in the weeks following their introduction, the three friends grow closer. In episode 7, Cole, Anne, and Diana develop an elaborate plan to attend Josephine Barry's annual summer-themed party. Josephine is Diana's wealthy aunt, who was first introduced in Season 1 when she was grieving the loss of her life companion, Gertrude, but it is later revealed that they were not just friends, but romantic partners. Josephine has kept her sexuality and lifestyle secret from her friends and family because she was raised in a conservative environment. The night before the party, Anne asks Josephine how should she act, and Josephine tells her, "You need not be anyone but simply yourself." The party is full of people from all walks of life and backgrounds. Cole is approached by a group of party guests who include him in the festivities. Their genders are never revealed, but they are dressed unconventionally when compared to the gender norms of the time period. Other party guests are dressed in a similar manner, women wearing trousers and no corsets, and men in makeup and flower crowns. Anne bumps into a woman with a short pixie cut who compliments her hair. While Cole and Anne fit in well with the crowd, Diana seems to be confused and caught off guard by the secret lifestyle her aunt has been living. At the end of the party, Aunt Jo gives a toast about her late lover, Gertrude, and someone in the audience says, "To the most wonderful couple, my romantic ideal, Gertie and Joe." Diana is confused and distraught when she finds out Gertie and Joe were in love, and she denies the very idea of it. Diana leaves the party and then finds a wedding photo of the couple in Joe's room. One is dressed in a gown and the other in a suit. When the party comes to a close, Diana is left with many questions. She calls Joe's lifestyle and sexuality unnatural. In response, Anne tells Diana that love doesn't look the same for everyone. It can come in so many forms, and how can there be anything wrong with the life if it's spent with the person you love? The next day, before the three friends leave to go back to their small farming town, Cole comes out to Aunt Josephine by saying, "I think I am like you and Gertrude." Joe thanks him for sharing this with her and gives him some words of wisdom to help him on his journey to self-acceptance. She says, "You have a life of such joy before you, not without hardship, not without bumps in the road. Be safe with those you trust, but when you do find people to trust, the bond will be that much greater." A few weeks after the party, Mr. Phillips attempts to blame Cole for a broken window in the classroom. When Cole stands up for himself, Philip threatens him with corporal punishment. Cole realized then that Phillips doesn't hate him. he hates himself. He tells him, "That is your perception. If you want to hate someone, you should look in the mirror." He tells Anne later that he wanted to hurt me today because he couldn't punish himself for being like me. Mr. Phillips struggles to accept his sexuality, likely because of the conservative community he lives in. To cope with the internalized homophobia that he has within himself, he redirects his hatred towards Cole. In a similar way, Cole is told with his own self-hatred that he gained from the negative comments from his peers. However, after meeting Josephine, he realizes that she is evidence that people like him can find love. Cole never returned to the school and moved in with Josephine to pursue his art career and to find more people that he's comfortable with. Anne with E is relevant to the LGBT+ community because it portrays characters who overcome many of the challenges members from the community face today, as well as illustrating love in its many forms.